was a journalist, a producer and picture producer at the BBC, News 24 and the World. So I did that for almost 4 years of mostly night work and a little bit of daytime work as well. I didn't like working nights because you feel really tired all the time and it affects your social life, working every weekend. And also it becomes monotonous after 3 years of doing the same thing over and over again and feeling that there is no real progress in what you're doing. I decided one day that I've had enough of working nights, I've had enough of working at the BBC the way I had. And when my contract finished, I did not ask for it to be renewed. And I didn't accept any more freelance shifts. I just took off, went to Greece for a couple of weeks, and I was just floating around, not really sure what I was going to do next, because people were asking me, wow, you're here on holiday, what are you doing, how's work going? And I didn't really know what to tell them, because I didn't have anything that was going to happen after my holiday. I came back to London and I was still wondering what was going to happen, and I started pushing for my other freelance work with them as a music journalist. And I was doing that very, very slowly. Things started happening, and it's probably been, I don't know, is it 4 or 5 years? I can't remember, that I have been doing the music journalism post BBC. What I'm working on right now is still doing my music journalism, so I write for music magazines here in Britain. And at the same time I run a Greek cookery class where we still get a group of people coming together and cooking Greek food and eating and sharing the food. My interest in Greek cookery is because my parents are Greek, and even though I was brought up and born in Sweden, we always spoke Greek at home, and my mom always used to make Greek food. And having cooked with her from young age and watching what she was doing, I got this interest in cooking. That started exactly a year ago, and it was a college here in London that contacted me and asked if I wanted to do a Greek course. And I thought, not really, I don't want to teach a Greek course, but I'm just going to call up and see what they're talking about. And as the conversation went on, we were talking more about food than the Greek course. See, I thought the Greek course meant that I was going to teach people to speak Greek. And it turns out that I was going to teach non-Greek people to cook Greek food. And I immediately said to them, you have found the right person. I have never done this in my life before. I just love Greek food, and I cook quite a lot, usually Greek food. And so I accepted. It went on for 8 sessions I had with the college, and I had 2 different groups of people that I was teaching. We were cooking together, and I saw that it was going really well because people loved the food we were making, people loved making the food. It was like being in an art class in some way, where the end product you could actually eat it. So it was very creative, very much fun. When the class was coming towards the end, I was receiving a lot of the evaluation forms from all the students who were from as young as 20 to over 60 years old. And they would all write more or less the same thing on the evaluation form. They loved the food, they loved the teacher, they loved the way I was running the class, they loved what we were doing. So I decided to do this on my own. I thought, well, if the college doesn't want to continue with the Greek cookery anymore, there is nothing that can stop me from doing it independently. So I started looking around in the area around where I live for a place to rent as a professional kitchen. And I tried out different places. Some were better, some were worse. And I started advertising on Facebook, through friends, through people I had worked with at the BBC, and also as a freelance journalist. You get a lot of information and press releases from different PR companies, and all of these email addresses I had in my email. So I started emailing everyone and telling everyone wherever I would go, I'm doing Greek cookery classes, you should come and cook with us, it's really good fun. And we make Greek food, We sit and eat together, we cook in teams. Even if you can't cook, it's fine because I'm there to help you make sure that the dish is going to turn out fine in the end. And then at the end of our cooking session, we sit and eat together, and then we divide the rest of the food and we take a portion home with us. And so it went on, and that's been going on since April actually, 2009, when I started my first class, and I had 9 students, and it's been going on since. Every month we have a class, and it's a great pleasure to see that people keep coming back, and people send their friends and colleagues and their relatives to come in and try the food and to cook the food. My favorite thing is seeing people cooking together who have never met before and having such a great time, and feeling very proud of what they have cooked, because usually it's things they've never made before. If someone said to me 5-10 years ago that I'd be running Greek cooking classes in London or anywhere else, I would never have believed it, nor would I have believed that it would be possible to work as a freelance music journalist as well in London. It just seemed like 2 really difficult things to do, but I think when you most of the time people are afraid to follow a career that they really want to do, because we always think, I know I used to think that this is impossible, it's not gonna work. But what is interesting to see is when you're doing something you're extremely passionate about and really happy about doing, things work out on their own somehow. Of course you have to work hard to make them work, but you see that the obstacles are disappearing one by one by one when you really do something you love and have a strong passion for. When you decide to change your career route or do something different, you're always going to have friends or people around you who are going to be a bit critical and say, why are you leaving something that is a solid source of money to the unknown? I remember at the beginning, when I was starting with my Greek cookery classes, a friend of mine was like, oh yeah, that's interesting, I saw on Facebook you're doing this, but it's probably gonna be a 1 or 2 sessions. And then I didn't pay much attention to her. I just thought maybe she would like to do this, but she didn't for some reason. But nevertheless, we met up again at some event months later, and I was asked the question, are you still doing the Greek cookery classes? You're not, are you? And I said, yes, of course I am. And I got the comment that, oh, I just thought it was going to be a one-off and you were going to do it for a month, maybe 2 sessions, and that would be it. So I thought, oh, that's interesting that you still get people who are going to be a bit critical and a bit unsure if you're just doing something to see how things go, but that there's not going to be continuity. But even for me, maybe in the beginning I didn't know how far it was going to go. It's been a year now, and I think it's going really great, and I want to continue for as long as people are coming in to cook. I'll be there to show them how to cook the Greek food.